The Podbreed Network is strictly for the small podcasts that are up and coming in the vast world of podcasting. Podbreed is made up of many diverse podcasts coming together to achieve the same goal of being the best damn podcast network on the planet. Find out more at podbreed.com.
This is Mike Tyson. You listen to the XY show, and I think you'll enjoy it. It's going to be ecstatic.
The opinions expressed on the X and Y show are the sole opinions of the host. Please note, there is no intentional desire to offend any member of the listening audience. With that said, if you still feel offended, tough shit.
It's time for the X and Y show. With your host, Mr. Roosevelt. He talks about man topics, lady topics, and relationships. He talks about love, sex, and infidelities. He even gives good tips. There is no other show that compares to the X and Y show.
Oh yeah, sit back, take your clothes off, and relax. It's time for the X and Y show, where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. The only place on the planet that tackles the topics that everyone wants to talk about, but no one is brave enough to address. Nothing escapes X and Y, baby. Now, here's your host, Roosevelt Colbert.
And greetings. How you doing? Glad to be back. It's been 2 weeks, And speaking of those 2 weeks, I made a decision. I think it's the best decision. I know I moved back to a bi-weekly, the same when I was going to, when I was in school a couple years ago, going for my second master's. And I did it again just to, because I did it. But I think I'm going back. I'm going back to a weekly format. It's 2 weeks is too long to be away. I feel like 2 weeks is an eternity almost. I'm going to go back to a weekly format. So after this week, the XY show will come to you weekly again, and that won't change. I'll do that until I cannot do it any longer. So the XY show is now a weekly show again. I just think 2 weeks is too long. And I think this is the right time to do it because why? We're in the Burr months. It's still in the Burr months. This is a beautiful time of year. We had that hurricane here and fucked up everything, but we're getting over it. We're getting back to normal. So this is a perfect time of year, the Burr months, and Halloween just passed, and now we're about 2.5 weeks from Thanksgiving. I'm starting to drink some eggnog and other things. And, it's just a great time of year. Today is my birthday, November 8th, for those of you who didn't know. And I'll be waiting for some gift certificates from some of you. Just go on the site and say, Roosevelt, what's your, or ladies, you can just send me a nude pic. That would suffice. If you're hairy. I want to talk about that too. But anyway, it's just a great time of year. I feel good. Even though it's hot as fuck here in not Miami. I'm not in Miami anymore. Florida, Southwest Florida, is still hot as fuck for November. But if I have anything to do with it, eventually I will be the fuck out of here because it's just too hot dealing with hurricanes. And now we have a hurricane off the coast of Florida again. It's like a category 1. They say when it hit, it'll probably be a low end 1 tropical storm. So it's not going to be a major storm, but I don't give a fuck. It's out there. And it could fuck shit up, like right before Thanksgiving. Like, I don't know, put you out of power for a week or some shit. I don't know. It still could fuck you up. So, you think I want to be dealing with that shit every year. So here we are in November and still got a hurricane on the damn coast. Major or not. Anyway, but it's a great time of year. Everyone appears to be getting happier. Today is election night. So it's a lot of things going on. I want to say happy birthday to my father in heaven. We had the same birthday. He was a lucky man. So, it's a lot of good things going on, and I feel good. So glad to be back. Like I said, 2 weeks is too long, so the X and Y show is going back to a weekly format. So, without further ado, let's get on to some questions. Yeah. The first one is from Ricky. Ricky says, I'm a survivor, of Hurricane Ian. I no longer want to be in the state of Florida. I understand that completely. However, my wife is from Miami, and her family is there. She has strongly stated that she will never leave. What do I do? Well, Ricky, there's 2 things you can do, only 2 things. You can leave and ruin your marriage, or you just stay and shut the fuck up. One of the 2. And I think it should be probably the latter. That's unfortunate. And that's something that I can't really relate to because, like I'm getting the fuck out of here. But I don't have a wife to convince of, we should move or get out of here or, you have to leave because of the hurricanes or whatever. I can get a better job here. And I don't have anyone that I have to compromise with. And that's what marriage is about. Compromise, which, exactly why your wife should say, well, if you want to get out of Florida, we can't leave Florida, but maybe we can go to Tallahassee, even though Tallahassee get hit by hurricanes too, but it's not as prevalent as Miami or, South Florida or West Florida, like Tampa and shit. So there are compromises, maybe she'll move to Tallahassee. Ask her that. But I don't know what kind of work you do, Ricky. Maybe you can't go to Tallahassee. So, it becomes complicated, and you're not the only person that's going through that. A lot of people want to move for different reasons, hurricane, occupation, weather, and they can't because their wife or girlfriend or boyfriend or husband don't want to leave. So they're kind of stuck in the middle. So, and I'll be honest with you, a wife, a girlfriend or a boyfriend really shouldn't hold that kind of power, in my opinion. And that happened to me before. Now, I can speak on that. When I was in Alaska, I had a girlfriend. She was half Yupik and white. Very beautiful. Good pussy, too. But she made it clear that she wasn't leaving Alaska, and I wasn't, Alaska was cool, and it was, I loved everything about it, but it's just too far. I didn't want to live there forever. And I told her, it was like, I'm not staying in Alaska forever, I was willing to compromise. Maybe we can move to Oregon or something, or Minnesota, but, And she was like, no, I'm not leaving Alaska. So I was like, basically I was like, fuck you then. I'm out of here. It's, you're not my wife, so I don't have to compromise with you. I want to leave. I'm getting the fuck out of here. It was a mistake looking back. It was a mistake looking back on my part. But again, she wasn't willing to compromise either. I mean, you got to meet halfway, you know. But long story short, since she wasn't willing to leave Alaska and I wasn't going to stay for her, we ended up breaking up. And, you know, that was, I didn't think that she deserved the power to have, for me to make a compromise just because she was my girlfriend. Now, if it was a ring on her finger, that's different. But it was not. So I decided to, you know, leave. Because, you know, I just didn't want to stay in Alaska for good. Looking back, it was a mistake. It was a mistake. And it was a mistake because, well, for some reasons it was. It was the best decision. So, you know, it's not nothing that I regret, but it's something that I often think about. But anyway, I'm getting too far off. Ricky, you know, like I said, man, there's only two things you can do. You can either say, fuck your wife, which I hope you don't do that, and leave anyway. And, you know, or you just stay and shut the fuck up. Deal with the hurricanes. You know, there is nothing you can really do. There's no, if your wife doesn't want to leave, she's not leaving. So either you leave by yourself or you just stay and shut the fuck up. That's all you can. That's all you can do. That's all you can do, brother. So wish you luck. That is a situation that I would not want to be in, because I can speak clearly on it, because I definitely want to get the fuck out of Florida. And I can't imagine having someone that I'm tied to who shares opposite views. So anyway. Next one is from Kathy. Kathy says, I have size A breasts. And I'm not laughing at Kathy, but my husband is always making comments about women with larger breasts. He really likes women with larger breasts. It makes me feel so bad for having smaller breasts. What do I do? Well, Kathy, you have to, I don't know if you communicated with your husband. You have to let him know that that really bothers you. You have to communicate with him and let him know that you don't, it makes you, how it makes you feel when he talks about women and fantasize about women with big titties around you, and it makes you feel, you know, really bad. You need to tell him that. And hopefully your husband is understanding and he realizes that that is kind of disrespectful, you know, and being hurtful as well to his wife to continue to do so, knowing that it makes her feel in a bad way. And, you know, I mean, that's no excuse for that. Your husband knew that before you got married, you had tic-tac titties. You know, he knew you had small, bitty titties. And so now you're married and he wants to, you know, put it in your face like, you know, you got small titties, but I love these big titties over here and blah, 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 blah. That's just disrespectful. There's no call for that. He knew what he was getting into before he said I do. So there's no excuse for him to, you know, voice his desires in front of you, knowing how that can make you feel. So it's kind of selfish. It makes your husband look like an asshole. So it's not something that should be allowed. So you should definitely communicate with him and let your husband know he needs to stop that. If he wants to look at big titties and fantasize, just don't say that shit around you. You know, that's something that shouldn't be allowed, Kathy. You should tell your husband, you know, you're tired of hearing that, tell him that how it makes you feel. And if he's a true man that cares about you, he would stop. So that's what I would do. Communicate to your husband. Say that's unacceptable. You should not be made to feel that way by someone who supposedly loves you. You know, So anyway. Well, without further ado, I will jump into tonight's episode. Should the person you're with have an opinion about your body hair? Should the person you're with have an opinion about your body hair? And I got this episode. I was watching one of those little segments on Facebook. And this lady was complaining about her husband with beard and stuff. And I heard other complaints over the years and stuff. And I just thought I should talk about it, because it's something I've dealt with a little bit, but not too much. Well, yes, I have, actually. Me personally, I had, like I can grow a beard, and I do grow a beard sometimes, but sometimes I change my facial hair up. I might grow a full beard. I used to grow a full beard all the time when I lived in colder climates, like when I was in Delaware, Jersey, Alaska, even Atlanta. I used to wear full beards. But now that I'm in hot ass Florida, I wear like stylish goatees, like not just goatees, but it's like a beard that comes up. It's not a regular goatee. It's very stylish. So it comes up. I can't explain it. You have to see me. But it's not. Don't think of your regular goatee. It's not that. But it's not a full beard either. It's like a real stylish beard. That one that you don't see every day. So that's what I rock now. And I had women tell me, that women, not even serious girlfriends, just women who I was just fucking, tell me that they don't like my beard and my goatee, and I should shave it, Like, what the fuck you mean? I should shave it for why? Why should I shave my shit off? And that's something that, I used to get mad, like, nah, I don't pay that shit no mind. But I used to get mad, like, fuck you mean, to shave my beard, my goatee, shave my facial hair. I dare you, come at me like that, coming up, I don't know, what? And one, it made me think, because one came back at me, right? When I was getting in her ass, she came back to me and said, well, you always talking about, I should grow more pussy hair. And it caught me. I had to think about it. I was like, oh shit. She's like, you always talking about I don't have no pussy hair, so I can talk about your goatee or your beard, And for those of you who know that, I like a lot of hair in the pussy. I don't like a bald pussy. I don't like a air strip. I don't like a triangle, a little heart. I don't like none of that bullshit that makes you look like a fucking little girl. And look like your pussy look like a cut hot dog, like a hot dog with a slit in it. I don't like that shit. I like hairy. I like my pussies looking like a woman. I like a lot of hair. I like a hairy pussy. Those of you know, listening to the X and Y show, you know this about me. I mean, this is not anything new. But when she said that, it made me think about it. Damn, I mean, like, she got a point. I'm always talking about, because she used to have one of those air strips, and then she used to irritate me. I mean, I still fucked her. I ain't turned out no pussy. But, it would have been more enjoyable if it would have been hairy. And she had the ability to grow a lot of hair. She was like half Greek or something like that. She had hair, but she wouldn't let it grow. So that used to irritate me. She knew I liked that, but would not do that for me. And in essence, I was doing the same thing with her. She knew Well, I knew that she liked the man with no facial hair, and I still decided to rock a beard, So, it made me think, like, damn, do the other, whether it's a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a wife or a husband, have an opinion, or should they have an opinion about the hair on the other person's body? That's something to really think about. I mean, have you thought about that? A lot of you have preferences. You like a man with a bull or full beard. But what if your man decided he didn't want that shit? Would you be continuously bickering him like, baby, you need to grow a beard. You need to get some facial hair. What's wrong with you? Baby, you need to cut that shit off. So, I mean, it goes both ways. Like men, there's some hairy men out there. There's men with hairy backs, hairy legs, and, like Sasquatches. You see them in shorts. You're like, damn, that motherfucker have big foot or something. So, I mean, it's goes both ways. And women, like me personally, I like a woman with, of course, a hairy pussy, very hairy. I also like hairy underarms. I like that as well. Not much, but just a little bit. I do. I think it's sexy. And, I must admit, when I don't see that on a woman, it makes me kind of like, I'm not as sexually aroused. Don't get me wrong. I still perform, but it's not as enjoyable. It's very weird. I guess it's a real fetish. Because, when I don't see certain body hair on a woman, hairy pussy, really hairy pussy, hair under the arms, I can take that or leave it, but hairy pussy, that's just something. That's like having chicken without, when you have a hairy pussy, that's like having chicken with the hot sauce. That's like having a beer with wings. It's like the extra shit that makes it better. You don't have hair in the pussy. It's like having chicken without the skin. It's good. It's good chicken, but it's not as good. You want that skin, you want that skin on the chicken. So, it's just a preference, but, do I actually have the right to tell my girlfriend or tell my wife, you have to grow a hairy pussy. You have to have a lot of hair in your pussy. You have to grow it. You don't have a choice. That's what I like. And because I like it, that's what you're going to do. And, and I had to think, I really thought about that shit. And this is, something I thought about lately. It sounds almost like controlling, that you try to almost force someone to have body hair, or not have body hair, and they desire to have body hair or don't desire to have body hair. It's almost control. It is controlling. It's not almost. It is very controlling for the other person to do, try to convince that person to do what they like with their body hair. It's very kind of selfish and controlling, for me to tell a woman, I really like you to have a hairy pussy. You need to grow some hair on your pussy. Just because she's my girlfriend or one day maybe my wife, I don't know. But it's very selfish and controlling for me to even tell her that, that, I see that she has a bald pussy, so she's obviously don't like that. So I think it's wrong. I can't believe I'm saying this. I think it's wrong for me to try to say that to a woman, just because I like it. It's a sexual preference to me. It's more arousing to me to see a woman with a hairy pussy. And it's still wrong for me to try to force that on to the woman, when I see that she doesn't have a hairy pussy and she doesn't desire to have one. So in essence, I should really shut the fuck up and just Enjoy the pussy. That's one of those things as you get older, it kind of, you look at it in a different way, Now, it's just not me, it goes both ways. I like hair pussies, It's selfish for the woman. There's women out there who their man have beards, and they don't like beards, but their man have beards or stylish goatees or whatever. And they want because they don't like it and they don't find it appealing. They want the man to shave their face. And that's very controlling and selfish as well. There's a lot of women like that who don't like facial hair and require that their man shave their facial hair or, it's going to be hell. That's not right either. That's not right either. If the woman don't like facial hair, but their man want to rock a beard, a full beard, like the Afro beard, that's the man prerogative. He can do whatever. It's his damn face. It's his facial hair. It's his body hair. It's his body. And women, you don't have the right to say that you want this when it comes to a man's body hair. Whether you like the facial hair or the leg hair, whatever it is, it's not your right. That's very controlling and very selfish. And it's not your right. You shouldn't do that. So, in essence, I'm telling you, ladies, when you have your husband or your boyfriend that has facial hair, right, and you hate it, it's not right for you to tell him or continuously to badger him that he should shave it. Or oppositely, if you like facial hair and your husband don't want it, it's not right for you to continuously to badger him and say you need to grow a beard, you need to grow a mustache. It's not right. So, ladies, I guess what I'm trying to say, just shut the fuck up and enjoy your man, how he is. Like Billy Joel, you say, I love you the way that you are, or whatever the fuck he said. You know what I'm talking about. Love you the way that you are. And that's what we all should do. It's amazing how, arguments could get started off of something so minute as body hair. I don't like your beard. You need to shave that shit off. Damn, why don't you grow some hair in your pussy? Shave your mustache. Shave your underarms. Body hair. Something that is so minute. You'd be surprised how many arguments get started off of that. And, I'm not going to lie, it's still, I'd rather a woman, when I see a woman, when we fuck and I see that she has a hairy pussy, that's a plus. It's a plus because I know we're on the same page. I like a hairy pussy. She likes growing a hairy pussy. So I like that. Now, when I see that a woman has, bald, oh shit, got a problem here, Houston. When she take her drawers off, and it's like a skin, like a slid hot dog down there. Oh shit, yeah. But when I see a jungle, and hair coming all out the sides, oh God, oh man, I had to exhale. But when I see that, I say we on the same page and everything is grand. I don't need to say anything. But, if I didn't see that, I should just, I and the rest of you, talking to the men and the ladies, for everyone who don't like facial hair and their other person has it, or they do like facial hair or body hair and the other person don't have it or do have it. Whatever the case may be, it's not something that should be worthy of being in an argument about. So to all men, all women who have having a problem with their other face, body hair, just shut the fuck up. It's so hard to find someone out there that is compatible with you, someone who kicks it with you, someone who actually likes you and digs you. And it's very asinine to ruin that over body hair because you like a beard, because you don't like a beard, because you like a hairy pussy, because you don't like a hairy pussy, because you like hair in the arms, because you don't. Body hair, something that's so minute, it's not worth losing your soulmate. So, folks, forget about body hair. Forget about your preference when it comes to that. And I'm talking about myself as well. I like hairy pussies. But if I meet a woman who doesn't have her hairy pussy, I'm not going to break up with her or not get serious with her because she shaves her pussy. Just shut the fuck up and enjoy the person. Life is too short. Anyway. Hope you enjoyed tonight's episode of the XY Show. And like I said, I'll be a weekly show from now on. I just can't be away from you guys for 2 weeks. It's too long. So a new episode will be released this week as well. And as we get closer to Christmas, I'll be having more Christmas-themed episodes because you know this is my favorite time of the year. And I love it. And hopefully we get some cold fronts. And I really feel like Christmas and, have my little whiskey and a cup next to me while I'm talking and just really enjoy it, enjoy this time of year. And I might try some different shit. I might bring some people in and just talk, about what the holidays mean to them. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. But for those of you who have been with the XY Show for some time, I really appreciate it. And I thank you for going on this ride with me. And I thank you for listening to me as well, taking the time out of your busy days to listen to me. It's very important to me, and I very cherish that very much. So love you all. And be sure to check out the XY Show store on my website, which is www.thexandyshow.com. You can also check out my social media. I'm on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, and Instagram. And you can also check out past episodes as well on there. If you missed them, be sure to catch up. So, without further ado, I will see you in a week. And I want you always to remember that you cannot have love or lust without X and Y. Later.
You've been listening to The X and Y Show with your host, Roosevelt Colbert, the place where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. Join us next time. You can now put your clothes back on. Or not.